Hey guys, CJ here, and welcome to the Martial Memoir. So in this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the jab. So for those of you that don't know, the jab is your lead straight punch. Different styles may call it different things. I've even called it different things over the years, but lately I've been calling it the jab. So, this is easily your most important punch. The reason being, it has the most range and the most speed. It has the shortest distance to travel to your opponent, right? Straight here. My guard's up, boom. Okay, it's right there. The cross, or your rear straight, has a little bit further to travel. Now, because it travels a little bit further, it packs a little bit more punch, but we'll cover that later. That's something else. Anyway, most of your combos can be set up with the jab. It's really, really important, especially because of how fast it is. It can get you out of a lot of tight spots. A really good martial artist, really good boxer, should be able to control a fight using only their jab. In fact, my coaches require that as a drill, where our opponent can do whatever they want to us, and we're only allowed to use the jab. And it sucks, but it does show you that it's possible, and how important mastering that technique is. And while I'm nowhere near mastering it, I've got some tips for it that'll help improve your technique. So, tip number 1, fire it straight out. My guard's here, my elbow's in. I keep my elbow in the whole time that I throw this punch. I don't want to draw back and flare my elbow out. One, that slows it down, and it doesn't really load up any extra power. And then if we're talking about a more practical aspect, if we need to, besides the fact that I'm not giving away my position and I'm keeping my elbow over my ribs so that they're not open and I'm eating body shots. Another practical aspect of it, if I'm up against a wall, I should still be able to throw my jab just fine. But if I get into the habit of throwing my jab while flaring my elbow out, that's impossible here, and now I've just eliminated one of my weapons. Another tip for the jab. All punches come from the feet up. Now, you push off the ground with your foot, and different people will tell you different things. Rotate your foot in, take a step. None of them are wrong. But I'm going to tell you why they're not wrong. The reason why is they all engage my hip. And that's what's most important, is getting this hip to flick. Flicking that engages your core, it allows your shoulders to rotate faster, and then your jab comes out nice, quick, and snappy, right? So instead of it looking like stiff, slow, and just kind of driving through it, I get that nice because I engage my hip. Now, how you go about engaging your hip is whatever's more comfortable to you. Some people can stand there, right in their stance, and only flick the hip. Their feet don't move at all. You see that a lot in karate practitioners, right? When they're doing their front punches, they'll be, here, we'll take a step, right? More traditional martial arts, you see that a lot. Flat foot, but the hips flick. And that's how they're able to still get power in their punches. Boxers always stay up on their balls of their feet so that they can stay light and move. They don't have to worry about being taken down or getting kicked in the leg. So they flick their hip most of the time by turning their foot in. Not a bad thing, right? It works, especially if you're really quick at it. But it does leave the inside of your knee open for a leg kick. Another way that you can do it is taking a step. You almost have to flick your hip. If I step forward, that way I also close some distance, so I increase the range of my punch too. So I can start back here and come in. But the important thing is flicking the hip. So just pay a little bit more attention to that. See when you throw your jab, what's your habit? My bad habit is I almost always step, which means I almost always throw my jab coming forward, which leads to the problem that I don't throw it enough if I have to move back, and I don't sit down on the jab. If I'm coming forward, I'm covering that distance, but it's not as strong as if I'm just here with a nice firm base with both my feet planted. There's a big difference between this punch and this one. But that comes down to every individual martial artist's style and when you're using it. My opponent's got a long reach and I need that extra space, then stepping in's great. But if my opponent's not respecting my jab, they're going to start just walking through it. So every now and then I need to remind them, hey, I can knock you out. And put a little bit more weight behind it. Last tip for the jab that I have, and this goes for all of your punches. I prefer, when I punch, to roll my shoulder up. So when I throw my jab, my shoulder comes up here. You might be thinking, why? Well, the reason is, it protects my face. If I'm in punching range where I can hit them with my hands, then they can hit me with their hands too. And I don't like getting hit. I know I don't got the prettiest face, but I don't want to make it any uglier. So, when I punch, I bring my shoulder up, and my other hand always stays up. Yeah, my body's open while I'm punching, but it's always going to be open while I'm punching. And this way, I'm as defensive as I can be. So if my opponent decides to throw a hook back, or another straight, I'm cutting it off with that shoulder. The top of my head's still open, but that's better than all of my head being open. A lot of times I'll see people, and this is one flaw of traditional martial artists, they like to keep their shoulders down, but then my whole jawline's open. And it's not that one way is better than the other, this is just the way that I prefer. So, try it out. You know, it might feel a little weird at first, building that muscle memory to keep my chin down and my shoulder up, but once you do it, I feel stronger and more confident in my punches punching that way than I do with like karate style front punches. This now feels awkward to me, but it's a difference in training. So, if you guys have any other tips to throw in the jab, leave it in the comments below. We'll have a discussion. Don't forget to hit the like button if you guys like this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see all of my new videos. I hope to see you guys next time. Peace.